welcome to the very first Ladies Gaelic Football podcast with the Maroon and White podcast. And I want to thank Paul for inviting me on. I'm delighted to get this opportunity. Anything, again, that I suppose generates some media coverage around Ladies Gaelic Football is welcomed. My name is Edel Concannon. I played football with Galway since 2003 up until 2016. Where I moved to Abu Dhabi, and that ended my county career. Played a little bit of club football with Tuama Corton since. Not playing, wouldn't say retired, but not looking like I'm going to be playing this year. But I played with Olivia and Louise, who are with us today, and I'm delighted to get the opportunity to chat to them about the weekend that has just been. How are the heads, girls?
Good. Not bad.
Yeah. We were chatting there before we came on. Sorry, Olivia?
The voice is a bit hoarse, but...
Yeah, I was singing. We were chatting there before we came on, and I was asking you about... You weren't out last night anyway, so you're fresh enough today.
Yeah, no, we went out Saturday and Sunday and Monday, and then we took last night off.
Okay, 3 nights. I was thinking the game was Sunday, so you 3 nights. Is this your second time staying up in the Crow Park Hotel for the celebrations after?
Yeah.
It's nice, though.
Yes.
It's definitely nice because, see, the first year it was in Birr, so obviously I think it's a little bit closer to getting down the road than Dublin, but it's a good thing. But so many people come out along the route, like say back through kind of like Caltra and Mountbellew, and then you're into Clonberne and you go around the whole of Kilkerrin. So it was a long time before we actually got into a pub to kind of do the celebrations as a team and that. So it's nice to just go straight from Crow Park across the hotel and nearly get down to the bar in a half an hour and just enjoy that time with your families and friends and everything.
You had said that as well in a previous interview, Louise, that it's nice because it's a more close-knit celebration to start off with on day one. You're wrecked as well, and by the time you've showered and had food and got down to Kilkerrin-Clonberne, I mean, could be 12 o'clock.
That's the thing, and it's especially with the match being so late. The match isn't at 2 in the day; it's at 5. So even by the time we got out of Crow Park, I think it was like 8, maybe. With just getting the time on the pitch. You don't want to be rushing away from the occasion or anything. And people obviously have media and stuff to do as well. And then just to shower there, and it's great. And then the rooms are just all set up for us to go across. So you just grab your key and you're up and ready in a half hour and down. So it's nice.
And it gives the supporters as well, Olivia, a chance the following day to actually, you don't want to be standing out on the side of a road at 11 o'clock at night. So it gives them a chance to get out earlier, yeah.
Yeah, and it gets a chance for a bit of a plan to be made as well. Like the first year, I think it was midnight and we were in Clonberne and we still hadn't even gotten to Kilkerrin at that stage. So I think this year we had left Dublin around 12 o'clock and we arrived in Clonberne around, I think, 5 or 6, and then over in Kilkerrin like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So it was much more appropriate times, and it was lovely.
Yeah, especially for kids and that as well. Yeah. Before we actually talk about the game itself, I wanted to chat about the Hall of Medals that you have, because I find it's mind blowing. I think I'm looking up here to the right of my little stash, but honestly, you shouldn't, and I know you don't take it for granted. And I don't just want to talk about this weekend and the 3 in a row, because again, there's so much that you've achieved up to this. And again, Olivia, you went to Dunmore, and you were saying Mary Grehan was your coach there.
Yeah, so I went to school in Dunmore. When I had just started, they had a really successful period, Dunmore School, and while I was there, we probably struggled a little bit more. We won a Junior C Connacht title and got to Junior C All Ireland. I think Glenamady really took over from Dunmore then at that stage, with a lot the wards were there and a lot of the other girls as well. So we were up against it.
I'm hoping Mary doesn't listen to this, but were you regretting you didn't go to Glenamady at this stage?
I had a great time in Dunmore. I loved it. I had a great there as well. So
do you live closer to Dunmore? Why did I think you would be Glenamady?
So I live I'm on the Dunmore Road, so I'm about 5 minutes from Clonberne, about 10 minutes from Dunmore, and probably about 12 or 15 minutes from Glenamady. So I'd be closer to Dunmore than Glenamady, but it wouldn't be much now.
Okay. And so you won a Junior C medal with your school.
Yeah.
And then Louise, Glenamaddy, again, massive hall of medals there.
Yeah, I think we won the under 14A Connacht. I think that's as far as the competition went that year, and then we won. We got beaten in a junior All Ireland final. I think that was Junior B in 2012, and then we won Junior A in 2013. Senior B the year after, and then Senior A the year after that when we were in Leaving Cert. So,
what kind of girls were there? Obviously, Nicola was there. Who else was?
Lindsay Noon was there, Ailish Morrissey, Megan Heenan that you would have played with from Glenamaddy was there. There's a good few Glenamaddy girls, Leanne Davis, Cueva Keaveney. Those girls would have been in around underage county panels as well.
Where did Sarah Gormley go to school?
HRC in Montbellew.
Oh, another one regretting, yeah.
Yeah. But see, that's just the way like Clonberne is. You kind of have, Sarah living up that direction, Olivia living kind of down towards Dunmore, and we live kind of towards Glenamaddy. So, but Niamh has come to Glenamaddy since, Niamh Divilly.
Oh, has she? Can we answer that question, Olivia? Why did Niamh go to Glenamaddy?
I'm not sure. I think Mom was working in Roscommon and she's going to work down through Glenamaddy, and I think after Niamh saw all the success the Glen School had, I think she was
she was smarter than you. But in saying that though, like Dunmore, I know when I was in the present tune, like Dunmore were like our rivals as well. Like Dunmore have had a lot of success, and after when I finished in the Pres, HRC had a lot of success there as well. They reached a few, I think maybe Senior B. They were in the Senior B All Ireland when we were in the Senior A All Ireland. So in fairness, there's 3 schools there that have competed at the high level as well. But sorry, Louise, to go back to that, you were saying that you won an under 14A Connacht with Glenamaddy.
Yeah, that was the first one. I think we bet Pres Athenry that one. It was up in Kenny Park. Which was a good game because it was against a lot of the Clare Galway girls as well. So that little bit of extra rivalry. But
that was.
I can't specifically remember at the time. Because I think Gary O'Donnell was over them for a while as well when we would have played them too. I'm not sure on that day, but we had John Kennedy there from Ballymo over us, and Mick Curtin and Patricia Keedy and Bridget Fallon. So they stayed with us right the way through. Yeah.
Yes. You have a Junior A All Ireland?
Yeah, we beat St. Paul's of Bessbrook after extra time. Amy Mackin and Blahin Mackin would have been playing on that team. Wow. Yeah. So I think Amy Mackin scored 5 goals that day, but we still managed to win the game, thank God, by a point. Yeah.
What was the score in that game? 5 goals? My goodness.
It was like, I think they scored, now I'm probably wrong because I think we only won by a point, but it was something like 8-9 to 5-20 or 5-21 or something. Goodness. Yeah, something mad.
Outrageous.
I know.
Times were on.
You can see the 8 goals and still managed to win the game. Yeah.
I won't ask who the goalie was because it's never the goalie's fault anyway. It could have been a back or something that did something. Anyway, and then you got a Senior B and a Senior A as well.
Yeah, the Senior B, I forget who we played in the Senior B final. It was a team that Geraldine O'Flynn was managing from, that would have played with Cork. She was teaching in Portlaoise School, so she was. So Anna Healy would have played on that, who plays for Laois now as well. But I would have went to college with her. She was on some of the O'Connor Cup teams that I would have won with. And then the Senior A, we played Aisling Maloney's school. So Shane Renan was coaching them down there as well at the time. Care. So, or Closh de Deniska. Yeah, Closh de Deniska, yeah. So, yeah.
And that was when you were in Leaving Cert?
Yeah.
Very good. And then just to mention we'll keep maybe with county then. Unbelievable there as well, in fairness. Well, you have under 14 Connacht and you have an under 14 All Ireland. Have you 2 under 16 All Irelands?
1 under 16.
1.
Yeah. 1 under 16.
How many minor?
2 minor.
2 minor with Annette Clark and Gillian and Kieran.
No, Dan and Nicholas.
So you won with Annette at under 16?
No. Johnny Carter was so
No.
Johnny Carter. We had Johnny Carter at under 14 and under 16, and then Daniel Moynihan at minor for the 2 years, and then Stephen Glennon took us when we were under 21 the year that was played as an actual competition as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
Annette came after you.
Yeah, she's in the Noons age group.
Yes.
Yeah, Lindsay was captain, I think, the year that they won that All-Ireland, that Annette and Kieran were involved.
So Johnny really is the man to thank for the way he run. Is he?
Yeah, he's like Johnny's. He's been coaching us now for the last. Is it 3 years? 2 years? 3 years, Louise?
3 years for club. Yeah.
He's still there.
Still there, and he's like the running sessions. You probably remember him with Galway they're very, very tough. I remember one day he said we'd do a session on the beach, and we thought we were going to have a bit of fun in the water. Like it was far from fun in the water we were having.
I nearly died that day.
Yeah,
bring in your swimming trunks, Olivia.
There was no need for the swimming trunks. And was all he needed, and a bit of bones.
That's brilliant because that again, now we're just coming on to again all your club success, because it's evident in how you play, the way you can, like the two of you are back beside Nicola when a team is attacking, especially the last two at Ballymacarbery. You're back defending, and then 2 minutes later you're up at the 45, the opposite end, and that's constant. So okay, Johnny, hats off there. No, and I'm sure there's loads more, but Johnny is big into the running. But yeah, he's obviously had a big impact on that. With club, then just what you've won with club there, Olivia.
So we started off at under 10. We used to play with the boys, and then under 12, I think we were down in Division C.
Yeah,
I remember we lost to Kilkerrin-Clonberne in the under 12C final one year, and then we bet Milltown the following year, and then we're up in under 14A. We won an under 14A league, an under 16 league and championship in A, and I think we've 2 minor championships.
Yeah. And then
how do you remember who you beat at an under 14 or under 12C match?
It was heartbreaking at the time.
Sorry?
It was heartbreaking at the time.
Sorry, so you have an under 14A and an under 16A with the county medal as well?
Yeah.
Minor?
Yeah, 2 minor.
Minor, sorry, okay. Who was over you for that stint? Was it your parents, your dad?
Oh, with the club, John Fleming was over us, and Annette was involved. For both those 2 years, because the minor competition is actually very short, so it's kind of an early run at the end, towards the end of the year, kind of after the senior championship or whatever. So there's not, they're kind of, the girls are either training with the under 16s or they're training with the adult junior or senior team. So it's not like we had another, extra days training or anything to do, but they're always with us there on match days and everything. Yeah.
Just as you mentioned there, Louise, as well, the minor competition is very short, which is very sad because that's where a lot of drop-offs happen.
Yeah, definitely. It's great though. Like obviously, it's the Mairead Meeting tournament as well. And I know it's great for Caltra. I think it was run off in was it a blitz again this year, Liv? No. I know the final was played in Caltra as well, which is lovely. But
in a championship knockout competition this year, I think was it Salthill who won it?
Okay.
Yeah, Salthill won it this year, actually. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But like that, like with the minor, I suppose it was, you have the girls that are playing under 16, and then I know it's in our club anyway, they're playing under 16, and now the junior team is kind of a stepping stone to senior, which is good, because previously it kind of would have been girls who were kind of finished playing senior at a high level and just wanted a little bit of social kind of football, whereas now it's kind of changed in that it's good to have that stepping stone for them to get to senior, so they're not really lost in that transition anymore with us anyway.
That's good. And again, that probably is another contributor to the success, that you have a strong stepping stone between under 16 minor and senior.
And that's the thing as well, because like it's not like senior and junior training. We all train together, so they're still kind of getting that high standard of training as well. You know, and it's good to have, because it's good for numbers as well, especially when there's so many of us obviously involved with county. You know, if you're just to take that number of girls away from a senior team alone, you'd have very few left for training. Especially when girls are away at college and stuff during the week. So it's good to have that good numbers there just to do, you know, a proper training session.
Yeah. I'm discreetly getting all your secrets out here. When I was playing, I played junior for county. That's where I started. Before I went on to senior, I played junior. We won an All-Ireland, like Division 3 maybe. So that was like 2003. We won a Division 3 league, and then I went up senior. But that was a solid stepping stone. Like I remember PG Fahy ringing me, asking me to move from the junior team up to the senior team. Olivia or Yvonne Daly was the same. A few others. That's not there now, so we're definitely missing a beat there with county as well with that.
Yeah, it's a huge step up. I think like even from like just the physicality and playing against like adults coming from underage, it is a huge step up. With our club team, there's like that most of the girls who are on their junior team play senior league or senior Cone Cup when we are that bit short in numbers as well. So there's the nice mixture there between playing with the senior team a lot of the year, or then they're probably subs on the senior panel as well.
And it's great to go up to training when there was not just the numbers coming high when you're near a final or something. The numbers are up all the time. It's good.
Yeah.
So I suppose we need to move on really and talk about what's going on now inside the last 3 years. So you played Mourne Abbey. We're talking
2019.
2019, because you lost a year there with COVID.
Yeah.
So 2019.
So we lost the All-Ireland final in 2019 by a point in the last kick of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouch. And then the following year?
The following year we were going really well, and then COVID kind of stopped us in our tracks, so it did. So there was no competition for 2020. So we had to wait until 2021 to get back to an All-Ireland final again, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you 21, 22, and then at the weekend 23. And just looking at that game over the weekend, like it wasn't like it was necessarily a banana skin at all. But you're looking at your previous result to Ballymacarbery back in 2002, and it wasn't. I mean, if you're to go, no game is easy, but if you're to go on the scoreline at the end, you were well ahead of them. How do you get your head, like Louise? How do you get your head around that going a year later? It's Ballymacarbery again. You've just beaten them comprehensively the year before.
Yeah, I suppose it was actually it was something that TP Fanning, our stats man, said to us that kind of like really got us on high alert, because we had played Mourne Abbey in 2018 in an All-Ireland semi-final and they beat us well, and fast forward 12 months later we're back in an All-Ireland final against them and probably should have beaten them, you know, that day, and only lost by a point in the last kick. So it's amazing the difference that a year can make to a team. So we kind of were a little bit on high alert because of that. And the fact as well that last year playing Ballymacarbery had been such a bad day. So it was like really wet. There was like a lot of surface water and it just didn't make for good football at all. And, you know, they had won Munster last year for the first time in a long time, and getting to an All-Ireland final or an All-Ireland semi-final was kind of like an extra bonus for them. So we kind of weren't writing them off because, you know, they'd gone that one step further again this year. So, you know, we were really on high alert. It wasn't like that obviously the media had us as hot favourites, but like we still did our homework down to the last detail on them. Yeah. Like nothing was left out.
I bet. Well, you don't win. It's hard to win any All-Ireland, but winning two, I mean, you obviously have a proper setup there that's not going to be having you trotting in all complacent, because winning one, sometimes I know when we won in 2004, I thought we'd be there forever. And next thing, oh my God, we haven't won one since.
I
I'm
know.
still like getting over it. I thought we'd at least went back in 2005 and we got bet, like, and it wasn't. It was that I can only speak for my own mentality at the time. I actually genuinely thought that okay, we were on the cusp of wave here. Like this is going to be, we're going to get a little bit out of this. The next thing, bam, it's gone.
Yeah.
So that's and it's not like we had PGFI, like we had a great setup there, Richard Bowles, super setup, but you really had every stone left unturned there mentally, and I suppose your reflection on the Mourne Abbey game and the turnaround there in those 12 months helped that.
Yeah. And it's just as well like that. It wasn't like all this success started happening overnight. Like we got rude awakenings. Like the first year up 2013, Carnacon beat us by like 7 points in a Connacht final, and we just seemed really kind of out of our depth a little bit. And then 2014 and 15 we beat them in Connacht, which was like winning an All-Ireland nearly. And then like I think the year after that, or 2015, we got beaten by Mourne Abbey as well, and just beaten in an All-Ireland semi-finals, and you get sick of losing. So you've kind of been on the other end of it as well, and obviously 2019 was just so disappointing. So we never really take it for granted going forward. But as I always say, it nearly goes back to the county championship as well. You have to be prepared for your county championship because people are on your tails every single year, and if you're not ready there, that even could be so easily taken away from you.
No, it's a sniff of complacency there. Anyways. Olivia, and when I was reading her last week as well, and Willie mentioned, and I think I loved it. The headline was, I think it was something to the effect of, if we lose hunger, we'll get caught. And it's as simple as that. And would you put it down to, again, not the defeats, but the pain that she suffered before that first All-Ireland in 21? Like, or is there anything else there that just ensures that complacency is not on the table when you go out into that pitch?
I think there's just a fear of losing, like, as well. Like, obviously you want to win, but you definitely don't want to lose. And when you've been there for those dark days, you know how from the 2019 All-Ireland, it was a long time to get back. We didn't play the next All-Ireland until 2022. So it was a long, long road back. And, it one slip up, we know it's all gone and there's no more, 10 in a row, 11 in a row. So that's why I think we want to keep winning, we want to keep rising our standards, but we also know from being there that, it's very easily taken away, and how difficult those losses can be.
Yeah. Did either of you think for a split second in the Kilmacud game that you were in trouble?
We'll say we didn't, but there's always your mind does go to places, and I actually thought that somebody was looking down on us when they got the 21-meter free and it hit the post, and I was like, I remember running up to John Boyle after that, and I was like, what's the time? And he was like, there's 14 minutes. I was like, oh, that's great, we can make up 2 points easily in 14 minutes here. And we ended up going a point ahead after that, and then obviously they got the equalizer. But still, like, I think even Siobhan Divilly was the one I remember from that day. She was just going around to everybody going, we're not losing this, we're not losing this. And I think that was just right across the board then. Like, even I know Maeve Flanagan came on in extra time and got the point, and Maeve was even like just all like, we can't lose this, even somebody coming into the game, and it was just great.
In depth there. And Eva's point as well, like the space that she got, like that space, to create that space at that stage in the game.
And to take the shot with your weaker foot when so much pressure is on. It takes so much confidence. But Eva is so skillful. And
but Olivia, that is so, and I'll talk to you, Olivia, about it. Like, that's so evident. Lindsay as well, like, she's soloing up the pitch with her, I think, is she right-footed?
She's right-footed,
She's soloing up the pitch anyway with one leg, and she kicks it over with the other leg.
Yeah, and there's such skill.
Yeah.
Such skill level. And Eva's the same. She can kick really well off left and right foot. They can make space in the tiniest of areas. And Hannah's out around the middle as well. And she kicked point with her left foot in the Kilmacud match as well. I think New scored off their weak foot that day. So they're so skillful. I don't know what they do practicing out in the back garden. But
it's massive. That was one thing that stood out in particular with Lindsay in the final. Because it's easy to defend against somebody who's just going to keep wanting to turn onto the right. Do you know what I mean? And also, Olivia, it helps you that you can hand off a free there's 2 or 3 there that can help you with frees. It's not all on you as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I think since 2019, Eva's been able to take all the left-footed frees, which has been great, and she's so accurate with them all. And Chloe Miskell up in the forwards as well. Like she's
Yes.
always there if you want to hand off the ball, and usually Ailish Morrissey too. Who was missing this year, but
Yeah.
Ailish has such huge distance and so accurate from play. She can take the right-footed frees any day of the week as well. Not a bother to her.
Yeah, and I did think of Ailish during the week. Her mom and her sister come to our classes.
Mm.
But Ailish is a huge last she, like she was one of your main ones up front. And I mean, it's encouraging for her as well because she's going to come back into it again. She's a lot to look forward to. Let's, in my opinion, let's call a spade a spade. Like, I mean, your steam train.
Absolutely. Ailish
Like-
scored, I think, a third of all our scores in 2022. So
Yeah.
she was an absolute huge loss to us going into 2023. When you take a third of our scores and they were all from play out of any tally, it's a huge amount, and it was a huge loss and very difficult to replace her. And I think in the Kilmacud match, if we had seen her running on the pitch, we'd have been over the moon. But Ailish's rehab's going well, and I say she'll be back now.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon enough in the new year, and I'm sure she'll just drive on again next year, and we can't wait to have her back.
Yeah. It's hard to be out when, especially, I know she has 2 All-Irelands in the bag, but it's hard when you're right stuck in the middle of it there and you're out with the injury. But anyway, she'll have next year, she will. What else was? Oh yeah, so the game itself, and I have to say that I looked at the odds. You were like 14-1 on. So for every euro, every 14 euro you put on, you won €1. So I didn't go for that, but I backed you to win by 16 points.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, but with 7-10 minutes to go, I was like this, and then I don't know, maybe they made a few changes and he made a few changes and whatever, and maybe it just shook things up a small bit. But anyways, my bet went out the window at about 10 minutes to go. I was raving. Yeah. You were so in control, obviously, for the first 40 minutes of that game, totally in control for that 40 minutes. And whilst they did come back in the last 10 or 12, you still had a good grip in the game. But just your style of play, and I know when Willie was over us, and I alluded to it earlier there, the both of you have got to just thrive on the way you play with the width. Like the ball was going from one sideline over to the other sideline. Whereas some teams, and Ballymacarbery were doing it as well, going straight up the middle. If Nicola Ward, not that Chloe Costello or Claire Dunleavy are any easy routes, but if Nicola Ward was standing in front of me, I'd be going left the other way. But some teams just keep going up the middle. You have this ability to stretch it, and maybe you have faith in your number 10s and 12s and 13s and 15s. But Louise, it is a beautiful way to play. It's beautiful to watch, but it shows the confidence that you have in all your 15 to be able to get out to the sideline with the ball.
Yeah, but it was probably really kind of the contrast between the All-Ireland semi-final and the final this year is huge, because we just weren't happy with how we did against Kilmacud at all, and probably went down the middle a little bit too much. But obviously we were kind of a little bit behind, and we were trying to get the ball up the pitch a little bit quicker, and we got turned over a lot. But we knew that Ballymac were going to be very, very defensive and have 12 or 13 behind the ball. So we wanted to make Croke Park bigger than it is already. And it's not like that we have any weak link right throughout the pitch, maybe when we were younger, you had kind of your central players and it was just, go down the middle. But now, you have Eva Noon, you have Liv on the 2 wings, and then you have Niamh Divilly and Lindsay on the other side. So there's no weak link going down that way. And that was our plan. It was kind of go to the wings, stretch them as wide as we can, try and take them in the back door, and if they do come out, then put the ball back into the middle. And you could see that Chloe Miskell picked off points just right on the 13 and 21 all the time. So
there's nothing worse for both. There's nothing worse than being number 14 and having a crowd in front of you and you can't see where you're going. But also for the likes of you, Olivia and Louise, Olivia, it's great to be able to pass that ball back and over like you did, back and over, and then be able to get it maybe around the D, and you have space to actually run or kick it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think to be fair, the surface in Crow Park definitely did help. It's like it's just perfect football. It felt like we're playing summer football like a week before Christmas.
Yeah,
It was much easier compared to say like the Connacht final or the All Ireland semi final. The ground is a lot heavier. Sometimes there's surface water. The grass isn't cut as tight. I
yeah,
think it's easier to have that width and the hold the depth as well, which sometimes when everyone's getting on the ball, full forward line can nearly be tempted to come out. But to be fair, the girls held in so
oh,
patient, fast, and got on
yeah,
the ball at the perfect time. And the runs were
yeah.
super.
And that again, so that's confidence obviously in the game plan, and that's confidence in those around you.
Mhm. Yeah.
Even I think maybe it was once that a ball was kicked into a block, but the patience. I think it was a point. It was a point in the first half. I don't know if it was you or Lindsay, but it was anyway. It was a point in the first half where there was about 16, 17 passes, hand passes back and over and back and over and back and over, and there was no greed. It was just pure and utter patience, waiting for that, waiting for that opportunity to come. And I know your experience will stand to you on that, but that's hard to teach. It's hard to coach that, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been something
And
we've been trying to do from, since we won the first county title back, 10 years ago. It's that patience and not trying to force it. I think it comes with confidence and experience as well. That you get comfortable holding on to the ball and nothing happening for a while is okay as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And as well as that, like a lot of teams have gone very defensive against us in the last while, which is something we've kind of had to get used to a little bit.
expecting it now.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
probably why the Kilmacud game was a little bit different, because they nearly pressed us in the middle third, which we weren't used to, whereas because everybody else was playing very defensive, kind of set in a defensive shape, and it kind of took us a lot of effort to get the ball into their half to try and actually get a score, get near a scoring opportunity. Whereas, the last day we knew Ballymac were going to be very defensive as well. And then when you go back to training, we're kind of training around that, a little bit as well. Like, our six backs are absolutely outstanding 1-on-1, but like when we play 6-on-6, it's like 6v8 and 9. So they pack extra defenders in there to make us work extra hard for our scores. So it's like, it's just a really good way of coaching us. We've had to learn.
Yeah.
And learn fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that is a very true point, because again, if you're going out against with the runners on your team, there's so many runners on your team. I mean, you'd want to have a serious 6 to go out 6-on-6. If you were Kilmacud or whoever it was, if you were Ballymacarby, like it's impossible to defend against you going 6-on-6. Basically, is what I'm saying. So, yeah. Now that brings us to just one question, Olivia. Over the last 3 years, what game stands out to you the most? What game is the one that just like you want to experience again, or the feeling after it?
That's a good question. I think like looking back on it, the relief of winning the first All Ireland, I felt like we had put a little bit of pressure on ourselves as well. Like we had been chasing it for so long and for so many years, and when that final whistle went in Burr, I think it was amazing, and
We've done it.
everyone was running out into the pitch, and the first one is always, you probably remember from 2004, like it's different, and it's hard to replicate, and I think they've all been special since then. Between like in Crow Park, the second year is something you dream of as a child, and then obviously going for the 3 in a row is something we probably never even had dreamt of a few years ago. So they're all special. That first one in Burr is maybe a little bit extra special.
Sticks out a bit. Louise, would you be the same, or?
I think that the feeling after Kilmacud this year is it was something that we probably hadn't felt in a long time. Like obviously it was very close to that first All Ireland final as well, but Crow Park is a little bit different because obviously your supporters can't get down onto the field to you, so they have to wait up in the stands. Which I hate giving out about Crow Park. It's great to get in there, and as players, it's just unreal. But it's the one thing that against Kilmacud, they just came rushing onto the pitch after 85 minutes, and it was just nice because we were I'd say the final whistle was gone 2 minutes, and everybody was brought on the pitch just celebrating with us.
I'd say they had the nails chewed off themselves.
Like they did.
On the radio. Oh my goodness. And you know the way you celebrated when the whistle went in Kilmacud versus the way you celebrated when the whistle went to Ballymacarbery, there's a big contrast. Kilmacud, you could just see it was like the place erupted. Now maybe probably with people coming onto the pitch, but no, the way ye went,
Yeah.
really,
I think when you come through, like, and you'd know yourself, Edel, like when you come through like a titanic battle and something that like you're really pushed to like your limits, and like something is so close to be taken away from you, but you come through it together as a team and a management and a community. It was just so nice. Like the harder you have to work for something, the sweeter it feels when you actually get there.
100%.
Yeah.
Olivia, Sarah spoke after the game. I'm sure you've seen it, but oh my God, like just that one interview with her just conjured up like what it meant to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah has, like, to be fair to Sarah, she's been struggling with her knee for a while. She wasn't really able to do much between the All-Ireland semi-final and the final, but we never doubted for a second that she wouldn't be able to talk and get out onto Croke Park, and absolutely played her bit and was outstanding again. But I think when Sarah went off and with about 10 minutes to go, we really missed her leadership, and she's such a valuable player, both on and off the pitch for us. Like she was it just summed up like how we all felt, that her interview there was it was so emotional listening to it back.
I actually think it's one of the best interviews I've watched in a long time, because it was just raw emotion, just 100%. Pure raw emotion. Yeah.
And the way that she even had that's how she was feeling all week. Wondering whether ye were backing her or like were ye doubting her or something, and she like to say that like basically thanking ye for backing her. I mean,
no, and like in fairness, like Sarah, we didn't train the Tuesday after the Kilmacud game because it took a lot out of us, and then Friday she only trained she did the warm-up for about 5 minutes, and then we were in the Dome on Sunday, and I think she only managed like 3 minutes, and her knee was just at her. And it was like all through the week, it was like daily updates, like how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
Up in Santry anyway, so.
Sorry, Olivia?
I think poor Sarah's up in Santry today, so.
A leg replacement. Was it out in the Kilmacud game? It was.
Sarah would have a few niggles with her knee anyway, but it was very bad after the Kilmacud game, and I remember on the bus she could hardly kind of straighten her knee as well, and kind of was limping, nearly directly after it. So but like that game took a huge toll on our bodies, like it was a massive game.
The hits. Some of the hits, like it was, but Louise, I don't know if you picked up on it. The ref, he won't be listening to this, so I can give out on him. He was doing my nut in, blowing the whistle every 3 seconds. Very bad.
Yeah, in the All-Ireland semi-final.
Yes. And even the commentators didn't know what way it was going to go. It was just whistle blow, like.
Yeah, I thought for a game that was going to be very physical, he probably allowed it to be very, very physical on top of that. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I thought Kilmacud got their frees a little bit easier than we did. But it was hard to know which way he was going to go. Even one time I got caught in midfield and there was 3 of them with hands around me, and I thought it was going to be a free, but then he pulled me over carrying. So it was kind of like we kind of said, if you're going into a tackle, make sure you're coming out the other side of it, because if you get caught, he's not really going to give you a free for it, regardless of the amount of hands that are on you. So we kind of learned that in extra time, but we had to learn it the hard way before that as well.
I couldn't, but I actually couldn't keep up with the whistle. Do the last 1 or 2 things. I know we discussed it before, so I don't think we discussed it here, but I wanted to just chat about the merging of the GA with the LGFA and basically the 4 organisations becoming one. Olivia, your pitch is, you were saying, it's a community pitch.
Yeah.
Which helps you big time.
Yeah, so the pitch in Clonberne is community pitch. The GA club is separate to the ladies club. So we all have like, when we want to pitch, we just book in. There's a pitch coordinator, and you just book in. It's first come, first served. Thankfully, there's never been any issues. We've equal access. So we're very fortunate where we are, and I think the GA club have been very supportive as well of us over the last few years.
Yeah, that's really, really important that you've no difficulty with pitches. There's lights on both pitches. I stand down there, like, so again, we do the workouts in the gym. I stand at the door of the gym and I look over, and you see, like, even the stand is beautiful. The setup, everything down there is pristine. Like, you should be very, very proud of it. And maybe, look, I'm down the road, I'm sure the organisations will merge, but at the minute, this community, the fact that it's community based is helping both sides, that like it's fair distribution of time on the pitch, basically, which I'm sure has stood to you. And lastly, I hope you get a break before you get phone calls about going into county for 2024. You need a break.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, I think we got like 6 weeks maybe last year. So we were off from till the end of December and then January, and it's been a long few years on the trot, like say from going from club to county, I think since 2019 really, you could say. So when we get that break, it's nice to have a bit of downtime, just away
Any
from
holidays planned? Will Crushers.ie sponsor you?
We're trying to plan something.
Maybe Claire Madden there in Madden's might. She'll definitely be listening to this. Claire will sort you out.
We're definitely trying to plan something. I think they're trying to plan a dinner dance at the minute, whether that's going to be in January and February. And I know us in the players group are trying to get, even if it's 2 days away together or something, just to mark it and enjoy it. But like everything, you have people preparing for O'Connor Cup maybe and stuff like that. So it's hard to get a date that suits everybody. But I think the 3 in a row needs to be marked some way.
100%.
Yeah.
Where are you working, Louise, at the minute?
So I was working in Portiuncula as a physiotherapist, and then I set up my own company, a sportswear company called GOA, GOWA. So I've only gone full time into that the last 2 weeks. So I was working in Portiuncula for the last 3 years, you could say, before that.
And what sort of sports? So how can we access this, and what do you supply?
So it's myself and Noelle Gormley from Sligo. You probably would have played against Noelle.
Goalie. Yeah.
A few of us, I met Noelle at the All-Stars in 2018, and a few of us kind of stayed in contact, and I'd be very close to her family and everything. So we set it up last year in October 2022. And it's just like, like we kind of wanted to be a little bit different from like O'Neill's, because obviously they're the ones that have been dealing with ladies teams, and we just felt like, different anatomy and stuff like that there's no female owned sportswear company or teamwear supplier in the country. So that's why we kind of just wanted to bridge that gap a little bit. So we supplied our girls and St. Nathan's, who Noelle plays with, and a lot of different teams locally, which has been good. So it's kind of was a little bit too busy to keep the physio and this up. So we're just going to give it a go now in 2024 and see how it goes, going full time at it. Yeah.
Very good. Have you a website?
Yeah, it's Goa Sports Ireland.
Sorry?
It's Goa Sports Ireland.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Let's look at that. Fair play to you. So you're hanging up your physio hands for a while.
For the minute, yeah. So yeah, for the minute anyway. We'll see how it goes. Yeah.
And Olivia, where are you at the minute?
I'm based in Ballinasloe as well, so I work in as an occupational therapist in Galway Mental Health Services. So I've been here for nearly a year now.
Okay. So you can't take the rest of the week off now. You're not your own boss like Louise.
No, I'm not my boss. I'm back to work tomorrow.
I went full time at the right time, Edel.
Yeah.
I planned it nicely.
You were sitting there in your CEO chair and everything.
Yeah.
Guys, been really, really good chatting to you. We've definitely gone a little bit over time, but I love that. Best of luck. Definitely get away somewhere and celebrate those 3 amazing years that you've just had. But best of luck in the year ahead with the county. no doubt Daniel will lead you to some glory there. That's the last medal, really, that Louise and Olivia, you can add to your bundle. So best of luck with that.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a million.
All right.